afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this industrial automation using emerging technology webinar. I'm your host. My name is Mbali Mwelase. I'm the Business Development Executive for Winjit South Africa. I'll just quickly lay a few rules. We will have a question and answer session at the end of the presentation. However, if you want to pop in any questions, you are more than welcome at any time on our chat box to actually send us a question. We'll gladly answer that after the presentation. Okay. Digital technologies are enabling manufacturers to achieve lean manufacturing goals at a greater rate than before. To find out how you can actually have this yourself, please stay tuned and let our speakers today unpack how the how of achieving these results. I'll just start off by going through who Winjit is, and we'll take it from there. Okay, Winjit is a product engineering company that was established in 2004. Excuse me. It was established in 2004. We've got about 350 plus staff, most of them situated in India with vast skills in the IT sector. We have customers in 500 countries plus. We've had over 50 million downloads of our apps. We've developed more than 5,000 apps, since we actually started. We've got specialties and expertise in the fintech sector. We have developed a few in-house solutions for Internet of Things called IoT Sense. We've developed an AI and machine learning solution called Predict Sense. The core of the business is product engineering, so we can actually customize any solution that the client requires. So basically, that is Winjit in a nutshell. Just to reiterate our core competencies, we've got expertise in the artificial and machine learning. We've developed a solution called Predict Sense, which enables business, to make better decisions. We've got Internet of Things, IoT solutions as well. We work across industry, not just in the manufacturing industry. We also do have, a banking solution. We've got clients all over, the world. We've got clients in Africa. We're working with the insurance customers as well within South Africa. So we do have the whole spectrum of the BFSI solution. We've got a digital media, platform where we actually develop our apps, to the customer specification. We've got the product engineering division as well that takes care of all our customer needs. You actually give us your requirements, and we actually develop the solution according to your requirements. Why are we gathered today? Well, we all realize that we are living in the new normal. So everything has to change, and so has the manufacturing industry has to change. So we are, everyththing has been revolutionized, particularly the manufacturing industry. We've been talking about digital transformation, and I think now it is the time to actually leave that transformation. So today we just want to unpack how you're going to change or transform business processes using emerging techs. We want to also see what the current methods are actually doing, to the companies. Are they yielding results? And if so, we also see that, they're also endangering people. So, you have to sort of work at a limited workforce. How does that hinder your production? How does that hinder productivity? So it's those sort of issues that we're going to be looking at. So, with the lockdowns gradually being lifted, there's a lot of operations that's now taking place, but do we want to wait for another pandemic before we can actually change our processes? Do we want to wait for another pandemic before we actually, revolutionize how we do things? So today is actually more about that for a long time we've been talking about digital transformation, and nothing much has happened. So Winjet has developed a solution that will enable, the sector to actually transform. Just quickly. Okay, just want to quickly move to next slide. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our two speakers for this afternoon. We've got Preeti Bakale, who's the product lead for the IoT Sense product. We've got Stu Chalmers, the VP for Sales and Business Development in South Africa. And they are the ones that are going to be, taking us the journey of how this transformation is actually going to take place, and everything that's that we actually need to know to empower ourselves for this innovation. We'll start with Preeti. She will take us through IoT Sense, how it impacts on business, what are the benefits, and so forth. Preeti, take it away.
Thank you, Bali. So as Bali already told you, and as the topic suggests for this webinar, so I'll be walking you through three important questions. The first thing is, most of the industry would like to know about means where and how they can start with this digital transformation. And next, the second thing is, and what actually will be happening during this during this whole digital transformation journey. And third important thing is, you should be knowing means what benefits or what impact it could have after this digital transformation within you. So this is where Winjet stands for, and this is where this products from Winjet called as IoT Sense and Product Sense comes in the picture. So I'll be walking you through with the IoT Sense. Next.
Hold on.
So as I told you, first of all, let us understand if you are thinking of bringing this digital transformation within your organization, how you can start with it. Are you ready with it, or are there any prerequisites that you should be ready with? So the first thing is, it is all about the data. It is all about the data, data coming from legacy sensors, data coming from few of the new and the smart sensors. There can be multiple systems which are already available within your industry, like MES, ERP systems, then machine routing, and then SLM systems. So there is a whole lot of huge data is getting generated within this industry. But the thing is, there needs to be something from we can collect all this data together, and by bringing this data together, we can perform some analysis, we can crunch this, and then come up with some business analytical decisions. So this is what the aim of this whole digital transformation is, and this is where IoT Sense comes in picture. So if we just look at the data sources which IoT Sense will be collecting data from, so it will be from all the available sensors or all the available devices like PLCs, then SCADA system within your industry, to which this IoT Sense will be able to connect and can collect the real-time data, which will be there in a continuous manner. But it is not only about the sensor connectivity. This platform is smart enough or capable enough to connect with other systems like MES, ERP, and SCM systems, and it can collect data from those systems as well. So yeah, we understood means this is how this data could be collected. The next important thing I'll be explaining about the value proposition, what actually is happening when we collect all this data. So the next thing which IoT Sense platform provides with this data, you will be able to have the digital representation of your actual factory floor with the help of digital twin. You can get the real-time stream visualization, you can do the critical machine maintenance, and then you will have the ability to do the quality control and then energy monitoring. And with that, you will be having the ability to increase the uh, productivity and can do the more analysis on the data which is available. So what this IoT Sense can give you at this third step is the ability to have the informed business decisions. So this is the most important thing. wherein you will be having ability to forecast what could be done within the next few quarters or next year to proceed further efficiently with the production process or the whole industry process. You will be able to apply few of the techniques like Kaizen, Pokayoke, Six Sigma, and TQM. So yeah, next. Okay, so let me tell you, Miss, what is actually happening inside the IoT sense once it collects the data. So it does the process automation for you. It digitizes your whole factory floor by connecting it with the legacy machines, even new machines, as well as the systems like MES. Then all this process will be digitalized. You will be presented with the unified data on the top of which you can have the information enough to take the business decisions. And as I already told you, this platform is smart enough to connect with any of the systems. So you don't need to worry about where if you have the system which is old enough, like 40 years or 20 years, this IoT Sense platform connect with it. If you have the new sensors which is released just for back 2 years or something like that, so this platform can connect with those things as well. And of course, let's say you do not have any ERP system or any data collection system available with you, no worries. So IoT Sense can provide you with the data table functionality wherein you can store the things like production planning, what is your inventory is. So those sort of data could also be stored within it. Next, next. So yeah, so it is very much important to understand where all this is going to impact you. So definitely you will be having the production efficiency that will be achieved with this all real-time insights, and you will be able to take the decisions, and it can give the value change. You will be having the control over your quality, and ultimately it all leads to the profitability. Next. So this is what we can call, it is not only about collecting the data, but it is also the way of analysis which this platform can provide you. So this platform is capable enough to give you BI for almost every hierarchy or every level of people working in an industry. We are providing you the dashboards for the CXO and senior level management, wherein you will be directly able to take the business decisions based on the analytical insights or analytical representation available with you. You can take the decisions at the supervisor or mid management level with the dashboards available for that within IoT Sense. And even the actual people who are working on the factory floor, if they want to get an insight simply how they are performing, are there any improvements to be made in their performance, those things could also be available within the operator analysis dashboards. Next. So these are the main areas which this IoT Sense platform is covering: asset management, data flow management, means crunching the whole different types of data within this single platform. Analytics is there, then custom data management. You will be able to trigger some actions, and then the digital twin representation. Next. So if we just look at the whole stack, so this could be called as a full stack IoT platform, which is satisfying all your customer needs. So again, as I so it is able to have the external interfaces with most of the API gateways and the systems like ERP, MES, IMS. You will be having the data visualization, processing of the data, machine management, connectivity, and the normalization with the different set of the industry protocols like Modbus, OPC, and all those sort of stuff. Next. So one key important thing which I would like to share is the actual use case with one of our customer. So let me explain you about the problem statement which this customer was focusing on. So that person, that whole industry was facing issue with the what we can say reduction with the defective pieces and reduction in the scraps. So there were a whole lot of scrap and defective pieces were getting generated. So they were struggling with that. Even they were not able to the planning as per the what we can say uh, uh, machines were just getting breakdown on unwanted instances. So because of that, they were facing huge losses. So what we did, we just transform their whole industry with the help of this IoT sense. We make it digitized and we started collecting data from them. And thus we provided them the solution to have the unification of the data with the Industry 4.0 concept that this platform is providing. And they started to gain real-time insights about the data or the actual industry scenario or the actual factory floor work which is happening. And they were also able to stop the unwanted downtime of the machine because of any breakdown, because this platform is smart enough to give you the notification earlier itself, means if something wrong is going to happen within machine like that. And to tell you about the benefits, so there will almost 60% increase in the machine utilization, 20% increase in the efficiency of the whole production line, and the daily production were also increased. Next. So these are the actual Cxo level dashboards wherein you can directly see we have the dashboards, we implemented dashboards for OEE, revenue analysis, production efficiency, energy management, and as I told you, we also collected data to manage the operator performance. So we had dashboards for the operator analysis and the operator skill matrix. Next. So this is the actual IoT Sense admin, wherein we collected data from various sensors. We connected different systems. So these are some of the glimpses of that. Next. And these are the managerial level dashboards, wherein it was giving the real-time data on the actual production count, which was happening on the actual factory floor. Next. Next.
Okay.
Next. Yeah. So let me tell you where this whole platform could be utilized, or where this IoT Sense product could be beneficial for you. So if you would like to utilize this platform and its features on the cloud platform, then we are ready with that. We have the SaaS solution available with it. But let's say you have some on-premises system available with you, and you are very much concerned about the security. Then also this platform could be provided to you on premises. So as I can, if I just want to summarize about this platform, so it is available on the edge computing side as well as on the cloud computing side. And it is mostly compatible with all your existing systems and the sensors. So yeah, now I would like us to start with this predictions, where are more interesting things coming in. Thank you.
Thanks, Priti. I don't know if it's more interesting, but thank you anyway. So as Priti said, PredictSense is basically an offshoot, or we designed it as an offshoot of IoT Sense. So when you start to deploy IoT Sense and IoT solutions, you end up with a lot of data, a lot of production data, and of course, Priti indicated we utilize it for building BI tools and analytics, but with all of the data that we're providing, is there more that we can do with it? Next. So there are a couple of concepts or a couple of ideas, with regards to machine learning. So typically a machine learning process involves quite a bit of a manual processing, actually, for a machine learning process. It's a bit ironic, but the preparation of data sets, so getting it ready to be utilized. And then there's quite a big process involved to get to the point where you make predictions. If you go next, Marley, for me, then that process involves cleaning of the data, all sorts of labeling it so you understand where it is, transforming it into a format that can be utilized, pulling it data, features, splitting it, all kinds of things, tuning the model, evaluating the model. So this process is generally done by a data scientist, and unfortunately for a data scientist, it isn't actually what their training is meant to do. Their training is meant to do things like model tuning, perhaps model evaluation, and then deploying models. So a lot of the data scientist time is spent doing what I call donkey work, doing cleaning of the data, making sure the right data sets are being utilized, what data is relevant to the outcome, that kind of thing. And that isn't necessarily their strong role, but unfortunately, if you're utilizing them, that you have to get this done, and generally you pay them a fee, which is pretty high to undertake that. We go next in Barney. So that process will get you to a point where the data is ready to make a prediction and get insights from the data. What we do with PredictSense is you also still prepare the data set. That's a process, unfortunately, that is still part of the process. But PredictSense allows you to use drag and drop functionality to add data to the platform, and you add multiple data sets. That's where one of the joys of utilizing our platform as well. Online data sets, CSV files, whatever it is that you have, and you can use multiple within the model. You don't have to just limit yourself to one. Process will automatically build and evaluate multiple models, and I can go through that process as well with you. It has, we have probably next to 100 variants of algorithms that can be utilized within the process. So we can utilize all of those different algorithms to try and build and evaluate models, and then obviously we deploy the top models, and you can deploy multiple of them. So we get to the same endpoint, make predictions and insights, but with a lot less manual involvement to get to that process. If we go to the next slide, Barney. So an overview of the platform. This is basically the kinds of things that it can do, and most of this is automated. So we're transforming the data, filling in missing values, handling outliers. So data that may not fit within the normal process, and why is it there? What do we do with them? We can tell the platform up front what to do. Model pre-processing, so kind of splitting the data and understanding which features are relevant to the model and which aren't, and adding features and that kind of thing, executing the model, building algorithms, which algorithms to use, that kind of thing, scoring the model, how does it evaluate against other algorithms you might use. This model enhancement is probably the main area where you would get somebody involved, maybe their model assessment, but definitely the model enhancement is a place where you could get a data scientist involved as well in the process to try and improve the model, to try and tweak the default settings within within PredictSense, and then deploy the model, which gives you an API connection into your existing data sets, and then can use any changes within your live data set. So as Pretty says, when you're pulling live data in from different machines and devices, you may be predicting that a particular machine might go down, or that it might be useful to take a whole platform down at the next break and then repair a machine or do some servicing. You could plan for forecasted increase in requirements, and any number of things that you could utilize the machine learning platform for, to basically to help you predict changes in the environment. Next one. So very simple, user-friendly user interface. One of my contacts called it machine learning for dummies. They said it's super simple to use. There are different mechanisms you can use. You can do clustering, you can do forecasting, you can do trained models. So there are different ways of utilizing it. It's a very responsive system, intuitive, it says, and consistent. So it helps you plan and process the model building, in the process. So once you're built, so even a dummy like myself, who's not a data scientist, can build a model and deploy a model using data that I have. So very intuitive and gives you guidance across the process. Next slide. This key is the key for me. So the model generation and the leaderboard. So we're building a model utilizing data that we have, and we can do things like the hyperparameter fine tuning, and we can do cross-validation to ensure that it's the model we're utilizing is possibly the best one that we could be utilizing it for. Setting for data splits, so what data we're using, is it relevant or not to the process? And for me, the key is this leaderboard that the process generates. We can give a visual representation of what which model, which algorithm you're utilizing is being used, and is it the most effective. We skip to the next slide, Mbali. This is an actual output from the PredictSense platform. We've pulled in 5 different algorithms that we wanted to utilize. We've done a whole process in advance. We've done the data analysis, and we've trained a model, and then the models kick back, and they all have a different score. You can see in the middle their overall score 65, 64 down to 45. So if you were a data scientist and your pet the algorithm was this logistic regression, you may not be using the best model for this particular use case. So the beauty of the platform is that not only will it classify them, it suggests which models, which algorithms are likely to work with the data set you've provided, and also scores them based on different values. As we can go into depth of that if should you want to. And on the right hand side, the kind of right middle column, the model tuning. So then you can go in and then tweak that model should you have those abilities and feel the requirement to do that. To take it from 65%, maybe if you're looking at a 98% score model, you may be able to tune it to get it slightly higher. To get it from 65, is it going to be worth your while to tune it to get to 66? Perhaps not, but the option is still there. So this is the beauty of it for me. And then you can choose to deploy any or all of these outcomes. So you could then train them and validate them in real life situation, checking all the models against actual data and understanding if they, if they are delivering the value that you're looking for. Next slide, Bonnie. So for me, this is the key: is that the system has many different ways of many different algorithms that you can utilize, deep learning, ensemble methods, neural nets, and obviously classification, regression, selections, which, if you're utilizing a human being, a data scientist, they may have some knowledge of all of these, but they wouldn't have the depth of knowledge perhaps that we do, that the platform does across all of them. So it gives you quite a breadth, a huge breadth actually, of opportunity to train different algorithms that perhaps a human would only have view of a handful of them, and the system will choose and allocate which of the algorithms are worthwhile for the data set that you've uploaded. So it really makes machine learning real, democratizes it, brings it into the hands of people who perhaps wouldn't have thought that they could use machine learning before without the need for data scientists, and gives you outcomes that are real and can really benefit the business that you're in. That's me, Molly.
Thank you very much for everyone who actually joined us today. I think now we'll take any questions. If anyone would like to ask a question, they can ask the question now. I don't see any questions on the chat box, but if there are any questions, we'll gladly take them now. If there are no questions, I'd like to thank you very much for your time, and please do check out the link for this webinar on YouTube. It will also be posted on LinkedIn. If you've got any questions, you are more than welcome to call us. You are more than welcome to email us at marketing@windjit.com. I thank you very much all for your participation, and thank you very much to our 2 speakers. And I think that's all from us this afternoon.